Weekly Message, Sunday, January 31st, 2010. The One-Up Trigger, a present but not so clear danger. The automatic brain, AB, readily displays itself in daily human social and business interaction. A word to those of you who are new to the term AB, or who need a quick review. Our AB is constantly on the lookout for danger, threat, or vulnerability. When it detects danger, it flips the switch on and generates, automatically, thoughts and behaviors designed to cause us to fight or flee the danger. Everyone's dangers are different, but this response is universal. In my book, Brain Drain, you can read about how we develop what we perceive as dangers. In this week's message, I wish to concentrate on what I call the one-up danger trigger. If the purpose of our AB is to protect us, it's not surprising that someone or something perceived as bigger, better, stronger than us could serve as a trigger and cause us to fight or flee. Humans' fight or flight behavior shows up in aggressive behavior, the fight, or passive behavior, the flight. This one-up trigger is partly genetic. If you've ever observed the interaction between toddler siblings, you already understand the concept. I'll never forget an incident that occurred before my wife and I had children. While at a friend's house, I saw their 3-year-old daughter walk up behind their 18-month-old son and with a swift hand to the back, push him to the ground. Oh my God, I thought, what kind of monster are my good friends raising? Quick update. This, quote, monster just graduated college and is a lovely young lady. I observed similar genetic one-upmanship in my own children. It's likely that the push I saw was an automatic AB triggered and aggressive attempt to prevent being one-upped. In our personal lives, arguments sometimes start when we feel we are being one-upped. Another way this trigger shows up is when we feel we're being disrespected. The aggressive behavior, the fight, that ensues can be physical, verbal, or both, and the passive is retreat, avoiding confrontation. Wife: why don't you clean up after yourself? She feeling one-upped, disrespected by husband, triggering her AB, thus aggression, anger. Husband: I bring home the paycheck and you do nothing all day. He, fighting for top rank, his AB triggered, resulting in aggressive fight behavior. This continues as both spouses follow and trust what their ABs dictate. Wherever there is rage or anger, it is always associated with a danger trigger, and often that trigger results from a feeling of being one-upped. As a doctor, I come into contact with many pharmaceutical reps, essentially salespeople. I always feel more comfortable, better informed, and more likely to believe sales reps who tell me the positive qualities of their product rather than bashing the competition. Some strategic thinkers feel that knowing everything about your enemies puts you in a better position to defeat them. However, this is ultimately an aggressive attempt to one-up that reveals an AB reflex and results in less mastery of one's own selling points. An obsession with those persons or companies that you perceive as having something over you prevents self-realization and ultimately sabotages your own success. When I was coaching Little League, I told my players, doing the best you can, playing as a team, and practicing good sportsmanship is the cake. Winning is the icing on the cake. The icing never tastes as good when it's not on the cake. An eye on winning all the time, an eye on what your opponents are doing all the time, removes your focus from the important things. The one-up trigger leads to the aggressive fight reflex and the drive to be number one. If we listen to the wisdom of our mind, we see that our true potential lies not in being aggressive, but in assertive behavior. Assertiveness means doing the best you can with the tools and strengths you possess. If that happens to bring you to number one, so be it. Many people confuse my writing with a call to be passive, sit back, and let the universe deliver to us what it will. That could not be further from the truth. When we act with the assertiveness of our mind, we bring to ourselves that which is right for us. In his recent State of the Union speech, and frequently during his first year in office, President Obama has repeatedly pointed out the problems that were handed him from the previous administration. He has spent much time, as politicians on both sides of the aisle do, blaming his opponents for the nation's woes. In my view, that does not make for a good sales pitch. This is not a time for the president to follow his AB. We need our leaders to be mindful and not in thrall to the workings of the AB. Many Democrats think the Republicans are too aggressive, and many Republicans think Democrats are too passive. Judging others is a way of feeling one up over them. Constant judging prevents both parties from looking at themselves and realizing that we all possess an AB. Whether you are a Democrat or Republican, you need to acknowledge that you possess this antiquated primitive brain just like those to whom you feel superior. If you constantly shove down the person in front of you, what can you expect to accomplish? So the next time someone cuts you off on the road, or your spouse doesn't acknowledge your work in the home, or your neighbors talk about their lavish vacations while you are barely holding on to your job, or the receptionist at the doctor's office tells you to sit down and wait your turn, or CEOs are living a life that looks way better than yours, or someone is more philanthropic than you, or you're a doctor and a patient questions your authority, realize that all of these represent one-up triggers that will always alert your AB to danger. Be careful not to allow the automatic aggressiveness or passiveness, fight or flight, to dominate your thoughts and actions. Breathe deeply, denying the automatic physical response of the AB, characterized by rapid, shallow breathing. Then step back from the situation in your mind and move on. You will see what's right for you. One last thing. Most of us marvel at the talents of martial artists. That kind of fascination led me years ago to train in karate. All traditional martial arts are rooted in self-defense. Some of the strongest and toughest people are martial artists, but they're not aggressive, nor is their avoidance of conflict passive. They act with an assertive mindfulness and recognize when they are in true danger, and don't confuse it with a false danger manufactured by the deceptive nature of their AB. We need to view our mind as the ultimate martial artist, a ninja. Hold that as your affirmation. My mind is a ninja. And let us and our leaders seek to emulate this kind of wisdom and assertive strength of the mind. Have a great week. This is Dr. Charles Glassman.